Welcome to Bogglesocks TV. We've got lots of classic and original TV shows. Subscribe now and enjoy the video.
Lots of people come to Sunny Sands for their holidays. You can go out in Bob's boat, the Boomerang. You can have ice cream sundaes at Miss Smiley's cafe. You can play on the beach. And the best place to stay is at the Mill on the Marsh. But today, things were very quiet. Grandpa was on the balcony reading the Sunny Sands Gazette when Uncle CJ came in.
Jules is taking Wolfie for a long walk. I'm going to clear out the garage. If you need me, just shout.
Fine. Where are the children?
In the kitchen having breakfast. Oh, by the way, some kids from Sunny Sands summer camp are coming here today.
Really? What for?
Their tour guide is very keen to teach them all about windmills.
Oh, that's great, but isn't that something you do when it's raining? Better to take them to the beach on a sunny day like this.
You'd think so, yes. I'm sure they won't be here for long. Just a quick look around.
But the summer camp kids had already arrived.
Shush, shush, shush. Gather round, gather round. Now, here we are at the fascinating Mill on the Marsh. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Wendy Waffle, children's tour guide. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of explaining something very important. A long, long time ago, this windmill was used to grind flour to make bread. Now, the windmill was invented in ancient Rome in the 9th century. Or was it the 8th? Maybe it was the 10th. No, it was the 9th century.
I can see why she's called Wendy Waffle.
Persians started
She's
building
waffling.
Was it the Persians?
Wendy
Or the
Waffle was
Portuguese?
going on and on. Yes, she was doing a lot of waffling at the windmill.
I'll be in the garage. Grandpa's upstairs, but he'll probably go for a little lie down. Jason will look after you.
Thanks, Dad.
Have fun.
Oh, we're not here to have fun. We're here to learn.
Can we go to the beach too?
Don't be silly. You can't learn anything about windmills on the beach. Come along, follow me.
We were still having breakfast when everyone came in.
Gather round. I've got lots of important things to tell you about our day. First off, it's our windmill fact sheet. Then it's time for our windmill picnic lunch. Then windmill make and do. And finally, our windmill test.
It's Hares, but we're on summer camp.
Here we are.
Jason didn't like the sound of any of this. He went upstairs to tell Grandpa.
Nice pink one. Write your name on it. Yeah, don't lose it. Right. We've all got our windmill fact sheets. Follow me!
Wendy Waffle's a terrible waffler. She's making it all so boring. The summer camp kids, they just want to go to the beach.
Well, maybe we could do something to help. Speed up the visit a little.
Like how?
I'll think of something. They're in the sitting room.
Gather round. Right. Interesting fact number 1. This windmill is over 300 years old. Or is it 200? No, it's 300 years old. Anyway, it is very, very old.
The waffle went on and on and on.
Interesting fact number 2. The Mill on the Marsh was built by a man called Mr. Marjoram the Jolly Miller.
Did you know about Mr. Marjoram the Jolly Miller? No, never heard of him.
No, I think it was Mr. Marjoram the Jolly Miller.
Why was he called the Jolly Miller?
Because he had a very loud, jolly laugh and he loved having lots of fun.
Perhaps the ghost of the Jolly Miller still haunts this mill. Ho, ho, ho!
Ooh, a ghost! I say, how exciting. I've never met a ghost. I wonder if it's hiding in the kitchen. Or maybe in the living room. Or maybe in the meadow. Oh, I'd love to see a ghost.
Well, you won't, because there's no such thing. He was joking.
Well, we've no time for jokes. We're here to learn. Come along, everyone, upstairs now. Come along, come along. Feet up, have a good day. Yes.
Grandpa had been listening and he'd just got an idea.
The only person who can persuade Wendy Waffle to take those kids to the beach is the ghost of the Jolly Miller.
I think I know what you're thinking, Grandpa.
And it'll be easier for me to be the ghost of the Jolly Miller if I'm small.
Not the shrinking cap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can.
You know all about Grandpa's shrinking. When he's got that cap on, he gets up to all sorts of mischief.
He runs and jumps and climbs everywhere. And he can make things fly, like this. He can drive around in my cousin Jason's toy car. It's magic!
We came out to see Grandpa and, surprise, surprise, he shrunk.
Sorry, I couldn't stop him.
I am going to be the ghost of Mr. Marjoram, the Jolly Miller.
Grandpa, you're such a mischief.
But why?
Because I think the Jolly Miller can persuade Wendy Waffle to leave the mill and take the kids to the beach instead.
That's a great plan. And a funny one too.
But first, we're going to need an old white sheet.
We've got a sheet in our bedroom. I'll get it.
No, I'll get it.
And I've got another little job for you too, Jason. Well, a couple of little jobs, actually.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Come along, everyone, follow me. Here we are. Right then, settle down, gather round. Now then, up there are all the old workings of the mill. Now, a long, long time ago, that big wheel out there used to turn around. Or is it spin? Spin or turn?
Just then, Grandpa sneaked in from the balcony, but nobody saw him, and Wendy Waffle kept waffling.
Wasn't that fascinating? Right, now it's time for our Windmill picnic lunch.
Can we go to the beach for our picnic?
Yes, please.
No, don't be silly. There's lots more to do here. Come along.
Before Wendy Waffle left, Jason stepped in.
Here we are.
Miss Waffle, why don't you have your lunch up here, on your own? I mean, I'm sure you deserve a break from all that talking.
Oh, I'd love to have a break, but who's going to keep an eye on the children?
Oh, my dad will do that. He's fine. I'll just go check to see if it's cool.
Oh, that would be lovely. That is very kind.
Wendy Waffle was on her own, but it didn't stop her waffling to herself.
Ham sandwiches are my absolute
It was time for Grandpa to put his plan into action. He did this.
What was that? Sounded like a laugh. Or was it a chuckle?
Of course, it was Grandpa, pretending to be Mr. Marjoram, the Jolly Miller.
We were trying really hard not to laugh.
Next, Grandpa jumped into the bits and bobs box and did it again.
It couldn't be. Could it? Or could it? Mr. Marjoram, the Jolly Miller? Don't be silly, Wendy. It couldn't be. But maybe it is.
Dad's looking after everyone. Are you okay?
Fine. Now it's time for the make and do, or do and make. Make and do, or do me. No, I'm off to the kitchen.
Here. So far, so good. I think she started to believe in me.
What's next?
And why do you want this old white sheet?
Gather round. I'll explain.
Now it's time for your windmill test.
We'll never get to the beach, never. Grandpa wanted us to get the children to leave the kitchen, so Wendy Waffle would be on her own.
Excuse me, why don't you show our Uncle CJ your windmills?
He'd love to see them. He's mad about windmills.
Can we, please?
Please. All right. I'll tidy up.
The garage is that way.
It was time for the final bit of the plan.
I'm too grown up for this kind of thing, Grandpa.
Too grown up? Nonsense. Now get under that sheet.
Wendy Waffle came into the courtyard and saw this.
Oh, my eyes.
Yes, Grandpa and Jason were pretending to be the ghost of Mr. Marjoram, the Jolly Miller.
I am Mr. Marjoram, the Jolly Miller.
No, you can't be. Or can you? But you can't be. Oh, you the ghost of the Jolly Miller, or aren't you?
I most certainly am. And I want everybody to be jolly like me. These summer camp kids have come to Sunny Sands to have fun. It's a beautiful sunny day, so forget this windmill test and take them to the beach.
All right. Of course, the beach. I'll take them to the beach. I can't wait to tell them I've seen a real ghost. Children, to the beach!
Well, that seemed to work.
I felt a bit silly though.
Uncle CJ will be back any second. Cap off, Grandpa.
That was good.
You two were so funny. Ho, ho, ho. I'm Mr. Marjoram, the Jolly Miller.
Yeah, well, we couldn't have done it without you two. Teamwork, I call it. Teamwork.
Teamwork.
What lovely kids. They've left, by the way, gone to the beach.
Oh, good.
Wendy was in a lather of excitement. She kept going on about some ghost. Ghost? There's no such thing.
Oh, well, don't take any notice. You know what she's like? It was a load of waffle.
Uncle CJ, Auntie Jules and Josh had gone out for the day, so I was with Grandpa. We were playing with my doll's house that used to belong to Mr. Werps.
This is the butler. He welcomes visitors and takes care of them.
We should have a butler here at the mill.
That'd be good, wouldn't it, eh? And what can I do for you, Miss Elsie?
A glass of orange juice and a jammy jumbly, please. I have a box of more dolls things upstairs.
Right.
Then, guess who turned up?
Oh, no.
Annie Mae!
It was Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister.
Oh, you by yourself. It's a good job I popped in to keep you company.
Yes.
Then, the phone rang.
I'll get it. Loretta speaking. How may I help you? You're kidding me. Shiny gold stars? Oh, yes, Mr. Dinky. Ooh, you can come round right now.
Well, what is it? Who's Mr. Dinky?
He's from the Sunny Sands Tourist Office. He's coming to inspect us to see whether we deserve some shiny gold stars.
Excellent. We should get at least 3, maybe even 5.
Oh, I think we deserve more than that. I can see rows and rows of them. We'll be like those big hotels.
Yes, today Great Aunt Loretta was dreaming of hundreds and hundreds of shiny gold stars.
Now, if we're going to be like those big hotels, then we need to make some big changes.
What do you mean, big changes?
Well, big hotels have big things in them, big, bright things. We need to get rid of all those scruffy little things, and that includes you. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Poor Wolfie. That's not fair.
And you, Grandpa. We can't have little old men cluttering up the place. Come to your
Let
room.
me go.
I'll let you go when Mr. Dinky's gone.
Get my caps upstairs.
I knew why Grandpa needed his cap, so he could shrink.
In you go, Grandpa. Have a little lie down. I've locked him in. I think it's for the best.
Great Aunt Loretta put the key to Grandpa's room in her bag.
Come along, Elsie, to the pigsty. There's a lot of work to be done.
So, I had to go to Great Aunt Loretta's pigsty, which is where she lives, and put all her stuff in the sitting room.
There. Now, if this doesn't get us lots of shiny gold stars, I'll eat my cardigan.
Everything's so big and...
Beautiful, just like the big hotels.
Then the doorbell went.
That'll be Mr. Dinky now. Oh, stand up straight, Elsie. You need to look big too.
And while she went to let the hotel inspector in, I grabbed Grandpa's cap and got the key to his room.
May I present Mr. Dinky?
Hello.
This is Mr. Dinky, who's come to give us lots of shiny gold stars.
This was my chance to get Grandpa out of his room.
Golly gosh. Everything in this room is very big.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Dinky, sir. Oh, yes. That's our motto. Big is beautiful. So, how many shiny gold stars for our decoration?
None.
None?
But Great Aunt Loretta wasn't giving up.
You stay right there, sir, Mr. Dinky, sir. I'll be straight back.
She left Mr. Dinky to have a good look round.
Too big. Way too big.
Well done, Elsie. How are things going with Mr. Dinky? Any shiny gold stars?
Not yet. Great Aunt Loretta's sure he likes big things, but I think she's got it wrong.
It wouldn't be the first time. Sounds to me like she needs some help. And the only way to do that is by being small.
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He runs and jumps about all over the place, and I can never catch him. He loves driving Jason's toy car and the Sunny Sands train. And sometimes he gets into Josh's helicopter and flies all around the room. But today, he only needed to get upstairs, so I put him in my pocket.
That's quite big.
Mr. Dinky was busy looking at everything.
Enormous.
Oh, no. What has she done to the place?
Gigantic. That's so big, I need some fresh air.
He rushed to the balcony. As soon as Mr. Dinky had gone, I took Grandpa out of my pocket. Then I put the key back in Great Aunt Loretta's bag.
Loretta has got it wrong. Mr. Dinky doesn't like big things at all. I expect he only likes little things.
No, we'll never get any shiny gold stars now.
Oh, yes, we will. But I've got to think of a plan.
But just then, Great Aunt Loretta came back.
Mr. Dinky, sir. Oh, where is he?
He's on the balcony. He's not feeling very good.
It's a good job I made some green gloop and a giant mackerel and cold custard baguette. Yum.
It's okay, Elsie. I've thought of a plan, but I want your help.
So, how many shiny gold stars for my big glass of delicious homemade green gloop?
Mr. Dinky poured the gloop into the pot plant.
None.
Well, how many shiny gold stars for my giant mackerel and cold custard baguette?
He threw it off the balcony.
None.
Well, never. Oh, you're impossible to please, you are. I give up.
Great Aunt Loretta started packing up.
Taking everything back to my pigsty. I've had enough of that Mr. Dinky and his shiny gold stars.
All this time, we were busy with Grandpa's plan, decorating one of the guest rooms with little things from my doll's house.
Perfect. Now you go and get Mr. Dinky. You know what to say?
Yes. What are you going to do, Grandpa?
You'll see.
I ran onto the balcony. Excuse me, Mr. Dinky. Would you like to see one of the guest bedrooms? It's quite small.
Is it? Well, in that case, perhaps I'll take a teeny tiny peek.
So, I led Mr. Dinky to the guest room. This is our room of little things.
It's beautiful. I love it.
I left Mr. Dinky to have a good look round.
Small. Tiny. Teeny tiny.
Welcome to Mill on the Marsh, sir.
Golly gosh. A little butler.
Of course, really it was Grandpa. He'd dressed up in the butler doll's clothes.
You're the smallest butler I've ever met.
Thank you, sir. Small is beautiful. That is our motto.
It's my motto too. I love all these little things.
Perhaps Sir would like to give them a shiny gold star.
Oh, I would. Lots of them.
And Mr. Dinky started sticking shiny gold stars on all the little things. Grandpa's plan had worked.
Would Sir care for a little lie down now? A little snooze, perhaps?
Oh, yes. A little snooze would be perfect. Thank you.
So Mr. Dinky lay down on the bed.
Let's leave him now. I'll get changed and meet you in the kitchen.
Okay. I went back to the sitting room.
Where's the dreadful Mr. Dinky?
Having a little lie down.
Oh, that reminds me. Oh, I suppose I'd better let Grandpa out.
No! It's okay. I'll do it.
Oh.
Grandpa crept into the room, ran across the floor, and jumped into Upsy Downsy. And down he went. Come off, Grandpa, quick!
We did it, Elsie. Shiny gold stars galore. Teamwork, I call it.
Yes, Grandpa, teamwork! We went back upstairs to wait for Mr. Dinky to finish his little snooze.
That was a wonderful little snooze. And this room looks much better now you've got rid of all the big things.
Don't you like big things?
I hate big things.
Oh, you might have said.
This is far and away the best little hotel in Sunny Sands. Oh, it's so small, it's divine. And as for your little butler, I could have put him in my pocket.
Little butler? What little butler?
Never mind, Loretta.
Shiny gold star for you. And you. And you. Shiny gold stars for everyone. And everything.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Dinky. The Mill on the Marsh is very proud.
I must be off. Lots more hotels to visit. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Woo! You see? I told you we get hundreds. Mind you, he was bonkers. Little butler indeed.
It was an exciting day at the Mill on the Marsh because a special guest was staying. She was a famous writer who wrote children's stories, and her name was Nattie Scribbler.
You are so lucky to be staying here all summer. It's the most beautiful place. Yes, it is, Wolfie, and you're a lucky boy too, aren't you?
I've got a plane.
Oh, it's wonderful. Does it fly?
Sometimes.
Will you tell us a story, Nattie?
When I've thought of one, I will. You see, I want to start on a new story, and I'm hoping that something in this wonderful mill will give me a bright idea. It's so lovely, and, well, it feels almost magical.
It very is. Yes, Nattie Scribbler was here to discover the magic of the Mill on the Marsh.
The first thing I need is peace and quiet. Goodness, what can that be?
I don't know. We'll find out. Come on, Elsie.
So, off we went to find out about the noise.
In the kitchen, Grandpa and Uncle CJ had heard the noise too.
No, not today. It's Loretta.
Sounds like a goose trying to lay an egg.
Then the noise started again.
It started again. What is it?
It's Loretta. She's learning to play the trombone.
But Nattie needs it to be quiet to think up a story.
Hey! Tiny me. It's coming on, eh? Why?
Nattie Scribbler's upstairs trying to think of a story.
Why didn't somebody say? Oh, I've got loads of ideas, I have.
No, Loretta, wait. She wants ideas from Josh and Elsie.
Oh, don't be silly, Grandpa. They won't have any ideas. They're children.
And off she went.
I do love your work. And here you're after an idea. Well, I'm full of ideas, me. I'm very creative in many ways. You may have heard me playing the trombone earlier.
I did.
Oh, what about a story about a mermaid? Or a giant? Or a baboon with a big blue bottom?
I'm not sure that's quite my style.
I know what you need. I've got just the thing. I'll be right back. Don't you bother, you two. I know what you're like.
And off she went.
Sorry, that's our great Aunt Loretta.
She's very, what's the word?
Bunkers.
Interesting.
I think I might just go to my room for a little while. Sometimes, if I lie down, I get a bright idea for a story.
She just wants to get away from you-know-who.
Well, we need to stop you-know-who. Come on.
You-know-who was giving Nattie green gloop.
Drink up. I'm here to help.
Loretta, I think Miss Scribbler wants to be left alone.
Nonsense. We're having a nice little chat, aren't we?
Actually, I'm not sure the mill is quite the right place for me to have a bright idea after all.
Rubbish. It's the perfect place.
Loretta, I really do think...
I know. I'll tell you one of my stories. That'll get you going. Now, let me see. Once upon a time, there was a potato. Out. All the other vegetables used to call him Muddy Spud.
Oh, it's hopeless. Nattie Scribbler says she doesn't think the mill is the right place to have an idea. And Loretta started telling a story about a potato.
Oh, no, not Muddy Spud. I'll see what I can do. You two come with me.
Grandpa had a plan, so we followed him upstairs.
You've got to get Loretta out of her room. Give me the thumbs up when Nattie's alone.
But what are you going to do?
What do you think I'm going to do?
Not the shrinking cat, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
Well, you know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He can make all kinds of things work. He can drive the toy car. He can chuff around in the Sunny Sands train.
And he can even make Mrs. Ostrich fly, which is odd, because ostriches can't fly, actually.
Today, he jumped into my cousin Jason's plane. And before we knew it, he flew right out of the window. Grandpa landed in the big nut tree in the meadow.
We had to get Loretta away from Nattie, and I had an idea. I ran to Nattie's room, and Josh went to let Grandpa in on my plan.
Stay there until I give you the sign, Grandpa.
So Muddy Spud said to the radishes, what is it, Elsie?
I know how you can help. Something that only you can do. You can make Nattie a sardine and strawberry tart.
Oh, yes. You're right. That is something that only I can do.
Thank you, Elsie. I really don't think I'm going to have a bright idea here after all. I do feel peculiar after the gloop.
Maybe a little rest will help. And some fresh air.
Oh.
So, I opened the window and went to tell Josh that it was all clear. All clear.
Right. Then I gave Grandpa the sign.
And he took off and flew in through Nattie's window. She couldn't believe her eyes. Then he landed on the dressing table.
Oh, my goodness. A little man.
At your service, ma'am.
What are you doing here?
Well, I heard you were hoping for a bright idea for a story, so I thought I'd just pop in and see if I could help.
But this is magic.
Oh, yes. The mill on the marsh is a magical place, you know.
I thought so the minute I walked in, but I just haven't had an idea.
Well, I think you have now.
I think so too.
You never know where an idea may be. Sometimes it's right before your eyes. It might be hiding and you just can't find it. Then it takes you by surprise.
So true.
You never know when the next story will strike. You might wait forever and a day. Then you get that feeling, that magical feeling that a story's on its way.
Bright ideas, I've been having them for years and years. And this time I waited as long as I can. And at last it's here, the best idea.
I'll give a cheer.
The best idea has come from a little magic man.
Pleased to be of service, Ma'am.
And Grandpa ran, got back into the plane, and off he flew. We were all ready to hear Nattie's new story.
Oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait. And here's a nice slice of sardine and strawberry tart for afters.
We didn't know where Grandpa was, but suddenly we saw the plane landing.
I'd better wake Grandpa up. He's sure to want to listen.
No, Uncle, there isn't time. We can tell Grandpa the story.
Ready?
And Nattie began.
Once upon a time, there were two children called Elsie and Josh, and a little dog called Wolfie. And they were living in a wonderful windmill. A writer came to stay. She wanted an idea for a new story, but try as she might, she just couldn't think of one. A kind old lady at the mill gave her some green gloop to help.
Oh, that's me! I'm in it!
Then she decided to have a rest. Just then, the children sent their magic plane through her window, and to her great surprise, out stepped a little man. A little magic man. And they sang a song together all about bright ideas. Bright ideas, I've been having them for years and years. And this time I've waited as long as I can. And at last it's here, the best idea has come from a little magic man. And well, what do you know? Now the writer has a brand new story, and she will call it The Magic of the Mill of the Marsh.
Good story. Well done.
Oh, thank you. I have had a lot of practice at writing stories. Oh, that reminds me.
And off went Great Aunt Loretta.
And now I've got my new story, I think I'll take a walk outside.
I'll show you round, Nattie. You'll love it. Come and see the meadow.
Oh, that's just
wonderful
wonderful.
this time of
Isn't it just beautiful?
Grandpa quickly jumped off the toy box.
Come on, Grandpa, quick.
We did it! We gave Nattie Scribbler a brand new idea for a story.
And we're in the story.
That's because we all helped.
Teamwork. Then the trombone started up again.
Oh, look who's here. Had a nice little lie down, have we? Helped Nattie with her story, I did.
Oh, well, I'm glad she's had a bright idea. Huh? Bright ideas, bright ideas.
Oh, I've been having them for years. Hang on. How do you know that song?
Oh, it's an old favourite, Loretta.
Oh,